The rain drummed against the windows of the small coffee shop where Jake Miller sat every morning. He stared at his phone, reading the same message for the 1,000th time. 3 years. It had been 3 years since Lisa Martinez sent her last text. Something unexpected happened. Don't wait for me. 7 words that changed everything. 7 words that Jake refused to accept. His coffee had gone cold again. The elderly owner, Mr. Chen, shuffled over with a fresh cup. Still waiting for her, boy? Jake managed a weak smile. She'll come back. She promised she would before she left. Mr. Chen shook his head sadly and moved away. Everyone thought Jake was wasting his life. His best friend Danny had stopped inviting him to parties. His sister called him stubborn. His boss at the engineering firm kept offering him promotions that required moving to Mars Colony, but Jake always said no. I need to stay in Seattle, he told them. Lisa will look for me here. The truth was simple. Jake loved her. They had met 5 years ago at a space technology conference. Lisa was brilliant, funny, and beautiful. She worked as a translator for SAO, Earth's diplomatic corps. When she got selected for the mission to the Galactic Council, they celebrated with champagne and promises. 6 months, she had said, kissing him at the spaceport. I'll bring you something amazing from the stars. But 6 months became a year, then 2, then 3. The diplomatic corps stopped answering his questions. They just said Lisa was on extended assignment and couldn't communicate. Jake's apartment remained exactly as Lisa left it. Her favorite mug still sat by the sink. Her sweater hung on the chair. Her books lined the shelves. Some nights he slept on the couch because their bed felt too empty. Work kept him busy during the day. Seattle's rain kept him company at night. But every morning he returned to the same coffee shop, sat at the same table, and waited. You're pathetic, his friend Mark had said last week. She told you not to wait. She's probably married to some alien prince by now. Jake had walked out without answering. Mark didn't understand. Nobody did. 3 years, 2 months, and 5 days. That's how long it had been. Jake finished his coffee and stood to leave. Another day of work awaited. Another day of pretending he was fine. The doorbell of the coffee shop chimed. Jake didn't look up at first, then he heard a voice that stopped his heart. Jake? He turned slowly, afraid he was dreaming. But there she was. Lisa Martinez stood in the doorway, raindrops glittering in her dark hair. She looked exactly the same, not a single day older. Her brown eyes were wide with emotion. Lisa? Jake's voice cracked. His hands shook. She took a step forward. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I made you wait. Jake crossed the coffee shop in 3 strides and pulled her into his arms. She was real, solid, warm. She smelled like vanilla and something else, something like starlight. You came back, he whispered into her hair. I knew you would. Lisa pulled back, tears running down her cheeks. Jake, I need to tell you something. I need to explain. That's when Jake noticed they weren't alone. Behind Lisa stood a woman unlike anyone he'd ever seen. She was tall, maybe 6.5 feet. Her hair was silver like moonlight flowing past her shoulders. Her skin had a faint blue tint, and her eyes were violet, swirling like galaxies. The strange woman wore a long coat that seemed to shimmer with its own light. She watched, Jake with an expression he couldn't read. Jake, Lisa said, her voice shaking. I need to introduce you to someone. This is my mother. Jake's brain stopped working. Mother? Lisa's mother had died when she was 5. She'd grown up with just her father in San Antonio. This made no sense. The alien woman stepped forward. Her movements were graceful, like a dancer. She smiled, and Jake saw kindness in those strange eyes. Hello, Jake Miller, she said. Her voice was musical, like wind chimes. I am pleased to finally meet you. Lisa has told me so much about you. Before Jake could respond, before he could even process what was happening, the woman did something that broke his reality completely. She dropped to one knee in the middle of the coffee shop. From her coat, she pulled out a ring. Not a normal ring. This one seemed carved from crystal. pulsing with soft blue light from within. "Jake Miller of Earth," she said, her musical voice filling the small shop. Every customer turned to stare. "I, Empress Zariah of the Celestial Empire, formally request your hand in marriage." Jake's legs gave out. He stumbled back, catching himself on a chair. His mouth opened and closed like a fish. No words came out. Lisa rushed to his side. "Mom! We talked about this. You were supposed to let me explain first." Empress, marriage? Jake's world spun. The nice old coffee shop seemed suddenly too small. Mr. Chen dropped a cup and it shattered on the floor. Someone was taking pictures with their phone. The alien Empress remained on one knee, holding out the glowing ring. Her violet eyes stayed, locked on Jake's face. She seemed completely serious. What? Jake finally managed to speak. "I don't... Lisa, what's going on?" Lisa gripped his hand. Her fingers were trembling. "It's a long story. Remember when I said something unexpected happened? Well, I found out I'm not exactly human. And she really is my mother, and she wants to marry you." The Empress spoke again, still kneeling. "I have watched you through my daughter's memories. Your loyalty, your love, your patient heart. These are the qualities of a true mate. Will you accept my proposal?" Jake looked from Lisa to the kneeling Empress and back again. 3 years of waiting, 3 years of questions, and now this. His morning coffee suddenly seemed very far away. The silence in the coffee shop stretched like a rubber band about to snap. Jake stared at the kneeling Empress, his brain refusing to process what was happening. Around them, customers whispered and pointed. Someone's phone flash went off. "Mom, please stand up," Lisa begged, her face turning red. "Everyone's watching. This isn't how we practiced." The Empress rose smoothly to her feet, towering over everyone in the small shop. She tucked the glowing ring back into her coat, but kept her violet eyes fixed on Jake. "Perhaps we should continue this conversation somewhere private," she suggested. Jake nodded mutely. His apartment was only 3 blocks away, but the walk felt like miles. Lisa held his hand tightly while the Empress glided beside them. People on the street stopped and stared. It wasn't every day you saw a 6-foot-tall, blue-skinned woman in Seattle. Inside Jake's apartment, the Empress looked around with interest. She touched Lisa's old sweater on the chair. She studied the photos on the wall. Her fingers traced the coffee mug by the sink. "You kept everything," she said softly. Just as she left it, Jake found his voice. "I was waiting for her to come home." The Empress smiled. It was a sad smile. "You have a loyal heart, Jake Miller. Please sit. We have much to explain." They gathered in the living room. Jake sank into his armchair, while Lisa and her mother sat on the couch. The Empress moved with strange grace, like she was floating instead of walking. "I need to start from the beginning," Lisa said. She was twisting her hands in her lap. "You know I grew up thinking my dad died before I was born?" Jake nodded. Lisa had told him the story years ago. Her mother had been a nurse in San Antonio. She died when Lisa was 5, leaving her to be raised by her grandmother. "Well, that wasn't exactly true," Lisa continued. "My dad didn't die. He went home." The Empress took over the story. "My husband, Emperor Kale, was a curious man. He loved to explore. 30 years ago, he visited Earth in secret. He wanted to see your world without diplomatic meetings and ceremonies." She paused, her violet eyes growing distant. "He met Maria Martinez at a hospital where she worked. They fell in love. It was forbidden, but love rarely follows rules." Jake leaned forward. "So Lisa's father was an alien emperor?" "Yes," Zariah said simply. "When I discovered his affair, I was furious. But then he brought baby Lisa to meet me. She was so small, so perfect, I couldn't stay angry." Lisa picked up the thread. "Dad visited Earth whenever he could. But when I was 5, he died in an accident. Mom, my Earth mom, she got sick soon after. I think she died of a broken heart." Jake's head spun. His girlfriend wasn't just back from space. She was alien royalty. Half alien anyway. The Galactic Council scans everyone's DNA, Lisa explained. It's standard security procedure. When they scanned mine, alarms went off everywhere. The Celestial Empire has been looking for me since Dad died. I came immediately, Zariah added. My husband's lost daughter, alive and working for Earth? It was a miracle. Jake struggled to understand. So you spent 3 years teaching her about your empire? Not just teaching, Lisa said. She reached out and touched her mother's hand. Something strange happened. Both their eyes glowed softly, and Jake felt a weird tingling in the air. We can share thoughts, Lisa explained. It's a celestial ability. Mom and I have been connected for 3 years. She's seen all my memories, including... She blushed. Including all my memories of you. The Empress smiled warmly at Jake. I know this is shocking, but through Lisa's memories I've watched your relationship. I've felt her love for you. I've seen your devotion, your patience, your kindness. She leaned forward. In our empire, marriage is different than on Earth. We believe love multiplies when shared. Many of our marriages include multiple partners. Jake's eyes widened. Wait. You want to marry me because you fell in love through Lisa's memories? Not just that, Zariah said. I want us all to be family. You, me, and Lisa. Together. Lisa squeezed Jake's hand. I know it's crazy. When Mom first suggested it, I thought she was joking. But the more we talked, the more sense it made. Jake stood up abruptly. He paced to the window, staring out at the Seattle rain. His normal life had exploded in the past hour. His girlfriend was an alien princess. Her mother, an empress, wanted to marry him. It was insane. Why me? He asked, not turning around. You could have anyone in the galaxy. Why propose to a human engineer? Zariah's voice was gentle. Because you waited. Because you loved my daughter. Enough to put your life on hold. Because in all my years as Empress, I've never seen such pure devotion. Jake turned back to them. Lisa's eyes were pleading. The Empress watched him with that strange violet gaze. I need time to think, he said. Finally. Of course, Zariah replied. Take all the time you need. I've waited 50 years to love again. I can wait a little longer. She stood towering above them both. I'll return to my ship. Lisa will stay with you if you'll have her. Jake looked at Lisa. Despite everything, she was still the woman he loved. Of course she can stay, Zariah smiled. Before leaving, she placed a gentle hand on Jake's shoulder. Whatever you decide, know this. You've already given me a gift by loving my daughter. That alone makes you worthy of an empire. With that, she swept out of the apartment, leaving Jake and Lisa alone with a million unasked questions hanging in the air like stars. Jake woke to the sound of his phone screaming. Not ringing, screaming. 20 missed calls, 50 text messages, and his social media had exploded overnight. He grabbed the phone and saw the headline on every news site. Alien Empress proposes to Seattle engineer, humanity's future at stake. Someone in the coffee shop had recorded everything. The video was everywhere. The Empress on one knee, the glowing ring, Jake's shocked face. It had 5 million views already. Oh no, Jake groaned. Lisa appeared in the doorway, holding 2 cups of coffee. She looked tired. I'm sorry. I tried to stop it, but the internet moves too fast. Jake's phone rang again. This time it was a number he recognized. His boss at Boeing. Don't answer that yet, Lisa warned. There are government agents in our parking lot, 3 black vans. They've been there since sunrise. As if on cue, someone knocked on the door. Hard. The kind of knock that meant business. Jake opened it to find 2 people in dark suits. The woman held up a badge. Agent Patel, Earth Security Division. We need to talk to you, Mr. Miller, now. An hour later, Jake sat in a sterile white room deep beneath Seattle's Federal Building. Across from him sat Director Chen of Earth's Diplomatic Corps, a stern woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. Agent Patel stood by the door while another, Agent Rodriguez paced behind Jake's chair. Do you understand what you've done? Director Chen asked. Jake shook his head. All I did was not faint when an alien proposed to me. This isn't a joke, Mr. Miller, Rodriguez snapped. The Celestial Empire controls 30 star systems. They have technology we can barely dream of. This marriage could change everything. For humanity, Director Chen leaned forward. If you marry the Empress, Earth becomes part of their empire. We gain their protection, their technology, their trade routes. We jump forward 1,000 years overnight. But, Patel added, if you refuse and insult them, we could face the most powerful enemy in the galaxy. Jake felt the walls closing in. So no pressure then? This is bigger than you, Chen said coldly. Bigger than your feelings. You have a responsibility to your species. The door burst open. Lisa stormed in, her eyes flashing with anger. That's enough. You can't bully him. Into marriage. Princess Lisa, Chen stood quickly. You shouldn't be here. Don't princess me, Lisa snapped. I'm still an Earth citizen, and Jake is my boyfriend. You have no right to pressure him like this. Rodriguez stepped forward. With respect, Your Highness, this affects all of humanity. My mother would be disgusted, Lisa cut him off. She proposed out of genuine feeling, not politics. If you turn this into a forced diplomatic marriage, you'll insult her worse than any rejection could. Jake felt a surge of gratitude for Lisa's defense, but his relief was short-lived. That afternoon, the media circus reached insane levels. Reporters camped outside Jake's building. TV hosts debated his duty to humanity. Religious leaders called him chosen by God. Protesters gathered with signs reading, "Marry the alien," and "Earth first, say no." Jake's family bore the pressure too. His sister Amy called from her lab in Boston. Jake, xenobiologists are going crazy. Do you know what this could mean? Access to their medical tech could cure cancer, extend human life by centuries. You could save millions. His mother was less enthusiastic. Honey, I saw that video. That woman is very tall and very blue. Are you sure about this? His father was practical. Son, what's your heart telling you? Forget the politics. What do you want? But Jake didn't know what he wanted. Everything was happening too fast. That evening, Zariah contacted him directly. Her image appeared on his wall screen. She was in her ship's communication center, stars visible through the windows behind her. Jake, I'm sorry, she said immediately. I didn't mean to cause such chaos. I forgot how young your species is, how new to galactic politics. Jake slumped on his couch. Everyone's telling me what I should do. The government wants me to say yes for Earth. The protesters want me to say no for humanity's independence. My family is split. I don't even know you, and we're supposed to get married. Zariah's violet eyes softened. May I tell you something? When my husband died 50 years ago, I thought I'd never love again. I ruled alone, made alliances alone, raised my empire alone. Then I met Lisa and saw your memories through her mind. She paused, choosing her words carefully. I saw a man who waited 3 years without losing hope, who kept an apartment like a shrine to love, who turned down promotions to stay where his beloved could find him. That kind of devotion is rare in any species. But that was for Lisa. Jake protested. Not for you. True, Zariah agreed. But love grows in unexpected ways. Through Lisa's memories, I felt your kindness, your humor, your strength. I want to know the real you, not just the memory version. She leaned closer to the camera. I withdraw my formal proposal. The ring, the kneeling, that was too much too fast. Instead, I offer something simpler. Get to know me. Let me visit Earth properly. Let's have dinner, talk, walk in your rain that Lisa loves so much. No pressure, no politics, just 3 people figuring out if they could be happy together. Jake felt some tension leave his shoulders. That sounds better. And Jake, Zariah added, tell your government that Earth's alliance with my empire doesn't depend on this marriage. We'll sign a friendship treaty regardless. This is personal, not political. After she signed off, Jake found Lisa in the kitchen, stress cooking pasta. Your mom just called, he told her. She wants to date us, both of us, like normal people. Lisa dropped her spoon. She said that? The Empress of 30 star systems wants to go on regular dates? Jake nodded. No more proposals, just dinner. And conversation. Lisa threw her arms around him. That's perfect, that's what I wanted from the beginning. Time for you two to actually know each other. Outside, the media circus continued. Earth held its breath waiting for Jake's decision. But inside the small apartment, 3 people had just agreed to try something revolutionary in intergalactic relations. Taking it slow. The first date was awkward. Zariah arrived at Jake's apartment wearing human clothes. Jeans and a sweater that Lisa had helped her choose. She still towered over everyone, and her blue skin drew stares. But she was trying. I researched Earth, dating customs, she announced, holding up a bouquet of roses. These are appropriate? Jake smiled despite his nerves. They're perfect. They went to Pike Place Market. Zariah was fascinated by everything. The flying fish, the flower stalls, the street musicians. She bought honey from a local vendor and tasted it with wonder. We have nothing like bees in my empire, she said, licking her fingers. Such tiny creatures making something so sweet. Jake found himself relaxing. Away from the politics and pressure, Zariah was curious and kind. She asked about his work, his family, his dreams. She laughed at his jokes, even the bad ones. Lisa joined them for dinner at a small Italian restaurant. Watching the 2 most important people in his life interact, Jake felt something shift inside him. They moved like family already. Lisa translating Earth customs, Zariah sharing stories of distant worlds, both of them including Jake in every conversation. Over the next weeks, they fell into a pattern. Breakfast together at Jake's apartment. Walks in the rain. Zariah loved Seattle's weather. Movie nights where Zariah asked endless questions about human storytelling. Slowly, Jake stopped seeing an alien empress and started seeing just Zariah. She was lonely, he realized. Decades of ruling alone had left her hungry for connection. She lit up when Lisa called her mom. She treasured the small domestic moments, cooking together, arguing over what to watch on TV, falling asleep on the couch. The media attention gradually died down. Earth and the Celestial Empire signed their friendship treaty, proving that the marriage wasn't necessary for alliance. The pressure eased, leaving room for real feelings to grow. One evening, Jake found Zariah on his balcony, studying the stars. Homesick? He asked. She smiled softly. No. For the first time in 50 years, I feel at home. Jake stood beside her. Can I ask you something? Why did you really propose so quickly? Zariah was quiet for a moment. Fear, she admitted. I was afraid if I waited, I'd lose my courage. Afraid you'd say no before knowing me. Afraid of wanting something for myself after so many years of duty. Her honesty touched him. This powerful woman, ruler of star systems, was just as scared of rejection as anyone. I'm glad you found your courage, Jake said, even if your timing was terrible. She laughed, a real laugh, not the formal one she used for diplomats. Lisa says I have the romantic subtlety of a supernova. She's not wrong, Jake grinned. But supernovas are beautiful too. Their first kiss happened by accident. Zariah was teaching Jake a celestial dance, both of them laughing as he stumbled through the steps. He tripped, she caught him, and suddenly they were close. Her violet eyes met his and it felt natural to lean in. The kiss was soft, tentative. When they pulled apart, both were surprised. Was that okay? Zariah whispered. Jake nodded, speechless. Behind them, Lisa clapped from the doorway. Finally, she cheered. I was starting to think you two would never figure it out. As weeks turned to months, Jake's life transformed in ways he never expected. He learned basic celestial language. He tried alien foods, some delicious, some terrifying. He video called with Zariah's advisors, who were shocked but pleased to see their empress happy. His family slowly came around. His mother declared that Zariah was very polite for someone so blue. His father appreciated her interest in Earth, technology. Amy bombarded her with xenobiology questions until Lisa had to intervene. The turning point came during a camping trip in the Cascade Mountains. They sat around a campfire, roasting marshmallows, a new experience for Zariah. The Empress struggled with her s'more, getting chocolate everywhere. "This is inefficient food," she declared, licking her fingers. "That's not the point," Lisa laughed. "It's about the experience." Jake watched them bicker playfully and felt a certainty settle in his chest. This was his family. Unconventional, complicated, but absolutely right. That night, as they lay in their tent looking through the clear roof at the stars, Zariah spoke quietly. "My empire spans 30 systems. I've ruled for 200 years. I've negotiated peace between species that had warred for millennia." She turned to face Jake and Lisa. "But I've never been as happy as I am right now in this small tent with chocolate still on my fingers." Lisa curled between them, her head on Jake's shoulder, her hand in Zariah's. "Mom, are you getting sentimental?" "Perhaps," Zariah admitted. "Earth is changing me." "You're changing us too," Jake said. He'd been thinking about this for weeks. "I never imagined a life beyond Earth. Now I dream about seeing your worlds, meeting your people, being part of something bigger. Is that what you want?" Zariah asked carefully. "To see the stars?" Jake looked at Lisa, who nodded encouragingly. "I want to see them with both of you." The next morning they hiked to a mountain lake. The water reflected the sky like a mirror. Jake had brought something with him, 2 simple silver rings he'd had made. He didn't kneel. No dramatic gestures this time, he just held out the rings. "I'm not an empress," he said. "I can't offer you empires or cosmic power, but I can offer you my heart, my commitment, and my promise to learn how to make s'mores properly." Zariah's eyes filled with tears, something Jake had never seen before. Lisa grabbed both their hands, creating a circle. "Yes," Zariah whispered. "To everything. Yes." They kissed by the lake, all 3 of them, sealing a promise that would reshape 2 civilizations. But in that moment, they were just 3 people, in love, standing by a mountain lake, ready to face the universe together. The wedding happened 3 months later on a space station orbiting Earth. Half the structure was decorated in human tradition: white flowers, ribbons, and soft lighting. The other half sparkled with celestial crystal formations that sang when touched by starlight. Jake stood at the altar wearing a blend of human formal wear and celestial ceremonial robes. His hands shook slightly as he watched the doors open. Lisa appeared first in a dress that seemed woven from moonlight. Behind her, Zariah wore royal regalia that made her look like a walking constellation. But their eyes were what Jake noticed, most full of joy and love. Earth's president sat next to celestial nobles. Jake's parents shared a row with alien diplomats. His sister Amy took photos of everything, still amazed by the alien technology around them. The ceremony mixed human vows with celestial light-binding rituals. Jake placed rings on both his bride's fingers. Lisa and Zariah touched their foreheads, to his sharing memories through their neural connection. For the first time, Jake felt what they felt, the depth of their love, their hopes for the future, their joy in this moment. When the officiant pronounced them married, cheers erupted in a dozen languages. The kiss was 3-way, awkward, and perfect. At the reception, Jake's father gave a speech that made everyone laugh. "I always told Jake to reach for the stars. I didn't expect him to marry their empress." Zariah danced with Jake's mother, towering over her but moving with careful grace. Lisa taught alien ambassadors the electric slide. Jake found himself in the middle of it all, marveling at how natural it felt. Later on the observation deck, the 3 newlyweds watched Earth turn slowly below them. "No regrets?" Zariah asked Jake. He squeezed both their hands. "None, though I still can't believe this is real." "I can help with that," Lisa grinned. She and Zariah touched his temples, sharing the neural connection properly for the first time. Jake gasped as he felt their emotions directly. Zariah's deep contentment after decades of loneliness. Lisa's pure happiness at having her 2 favorite people together. "Oh," he breathed. "Now I understand." In the years that followed, their marriage became a symbol of successful integration between species. Jake split his time between Earth and the celestial capital. He worked as a cultural bridge, helping humans and celestials understand each other. Lisa served as Earth's official ambassador while also taking on royal duties. She was brilliant at both roles, using her unique position to benefit both worlds. Soraya found new purpose in their partnership. The empire flourished under their combined leadership. For the first time in 50 years, she laughed freely and, often, they faced challenges. Some humans called Jake a traitor. Some celestials questioned a human joining their royal family. But every night, whether on Earth or among the stars, the three of them came home to each other. Jake learned to cook celestial cuisine. Soraya became addicted to Earth coffee. Lisa started a garden that grew both Earth flowers and alien plants. They adopted traditions from both cultures: Sunday dinners with Jake's family, celestial meditation ceremonies, human holidays, and star festivals. 5 years after the wedding, during a quiet evening at their Earth home, Jake reflected on his journey. He'd waited 3 years for Lisa to return. He'd gotten so much more than he ever imagined. "What are you thinking about?" Soraya asked, curling up beside him on the couch. Despite her height, she'd learned to fit perfectly in their embraces. "Just remembering that morning in the coffee shop," Jake smiled. "When you proposed out of nowhere." Lisa laughed from his other side. "Mom's still not subtle." "I've improved," Soraya protested. "I waited 3 whole months before proposing to that nice barista yesterday." "Mom!" Lisa swatted her arm. "You didn't." "I'm joking," Soraya grinned. "Mostly." Jake pulled them both closer. Outside, stars twinkled, some harboring human colonies now thanks to their alliance. Inside, their home was warm with love. "You know what the best part is?" Jake said. "We have centuries to figure it all out." "Centuries of terrible dad jokes," Lisa groaned. "Centuries of burnt toast," Soraya added. "Centuries together," Jake finished. And that was exactly what they had. A love that crossed species, spanned star systems, and proved that sometimes the heart knows what it wants before the mind can catch up. Sometimes it just takes an empress proposing in a coffee shop to get things started.